Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Fast Break here, live for IE Sports Radio. On tonight's show, we talk about the Kelly Oubre accident. What does Philly do after Oubre's accident, after being struck by a car in Philly? How long is he going to be out? And the latest news on that. The NBA NC tournament is pushing along. We'll discuss the scores of that and who may come out top in the tournament here. Plus, who is the best team in the NBA so far? Is it Dallas, Philly, Boston, or someone else? Plus, we'll go over the scores in the NBA, college basketball, and much more here on Fast Break Live on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all your sports, and you're welcome to join us. And joining us out, shout out tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about lots to get into here on tonight's show. To kind of start off with some somber, I don't want to say somber news, but some kind of like breaking news that happened late last night. Kelly Oubre, wing player for the Philadelphia 76ers, was struck by a vehicle late last night in Philadelphia. With multiple injuries. He was struck Saturday night in the Center City. A spokesman for the team said the 27-year-old Oubre has been hospitalized, but is in stable condition with no undisclosed injuries. Which the injuries I think that came out was like a leg injury and broken ribs. But he will miss a significant time, but not for the rest of the season. But we shall see on that. Representatives been with Oubre at the hospital. They said the Sixers said Oubre was walking near his residence in downtown Philadelphia when he was struck. Philadelphia police said in an email to the Associated Press that Oubre was struck at 7 p.m. while crossing the street at Broad and Locust Streets in Center City, and he was taken to Jefferson Hospital. Police said there was an active investigation. They did say the car did fled the scene, so no surprise. So, after reading on that, D-Lock, I welcome you me into the show. How you doing tonight, sir? First and foremost.
I'm doing pretty good. Basketball season has started, so I'm doing excellent. Liking these different playoff situations that's going. Well, not playoff, but in-season tournaments. Terrible news to hear about Kelly Oubre. Even more terrible to see a tweet that somebody kind of said something regarding that before it actually happened. I hope everything, goes up for him. That's a very tough thing to deal with. As just a regular human being, not just an athlete, a professional athlete.
Yeah, I think, it sucks for Oubre that this happens to him. It's unfortunate it happened to him. Let me word my words right. It sucks that, he's out walking and got hit like this. And Oubre, he came up to the field in this 1-year deal. Got like a 1 year prove it, at that time to kind of help along with James Harden. And now, unfortunately, he gets struck down like this. And man, he was playing great for them. Even with James being out, at least got Oubre, who showed in his league that he could be at least an 18-point game scorer. So he has demonstrated that he can score in this league. And I think we talked about when the James Harden trade happened, like, yeah, losing James Harden will suck, but they got a nice collection of role players. But I think we also got agreed upon, like, Oubre was a good bridge. I think he can help in that scoring department. And, at that, up to this time right now, he was averaging 16 points per game. While Tyrese Maxey, like as we expected, is averaging 26 points, Joel Embiid 32 so far early in this season, along with Tobias Harris 19 points. So it's unfortunate that he got hit like this. They did say, like I said, the car that hit him fled the scene. In a big city like that, I'm pretty sure they got like multiple cameras at different angles, so they may get the person soon. But it's like the same Philly D-Lock. Like I saw like a couple months ago that a whole bunch of young people were like riding ATVs, motorcycles, and then like one kid he like hit this lady and her with the kids in the car and then stomped the back windshield out, and he drove off and stuff like that. And the mom got the car, and the boy had a gun, stuff like that. So Philly's a pretty wild place, as we see in the news and stuff like that. But speaking of Philly, though, they still had a game tonight, D-Lock. They're playing the Pacers right now, 31 seconds left. They're up 137-124 over Indiana. Joel Embiid, 37 points, 13 rebounds for him, along with 7 assists. Tyrese Maxey, he's going to get that money this offseason. 50 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 for 11 for 3-point land.
Oh, yes.
If you had him on FanDuel or DraftKings tonight, along with Embiid, you getting paid out pretty good if you built your roster good. But 50 points for Tyrese Maxey, and then 18 for Tobias Harris, along with 9 rebounds. Let me get your thoughts on the basketball side of things. How does losing? We don't know how long he's going to be out for Kelly Oubre. We don't know how long he's going to be out, but how do you see him being out for a long time going to impact this team?
I think he's gonna impact them a little. I think that he did, not just a little, but he did make a huge bonus to this team. We talked about them trading James Harden away to somebody which he's with the Clippers and they're actually what Owen Forces he's got there. That's a different story for a different day. They added in other pieces, and we knew that Tyrese Maxey was going to be that true guy for them. Now that they go and grab a Kelly Oubre, I feel like he fit them well because of what he can do. I think he did. The impact the fact that he's not going to be there is going to make a huge impact. But I feel like he, with the roster that they're having now, this is a very good team. I mean, I think that this team is one of the better teams in the NBA. He also we talked about them bringing in Patrick Beverley. Even though he's not playing that much, he also is playing a huge role in the leadership role, I'm sure. Tyrese Maxey is literally taking over. So I'm sure they're not missing James Harden as much. And now you got another defender in Nicholas Batum there, and the physicality with Beverly and Marcus Morris Sr. So I like what this team has, and if they can keep it up, I think they'll be fine. But I think that, missing another shoe like Oubre is going to hurt them a little bit. But you got the MVP and Embiid, so I think this team definitely can find a way to continue to be successful. New coach, kind of redone that roster. I think they're going to be. I think they'll be pretty decent. That's not no knock on what Kelly Oubre is bringing. It's just that I like how this roster is kind of constructed. Knowing what we've seen, it's kind of like last year we seen Tyrese Maxey get a chance to go off, but James Harden kind of was in the mix of it. So now we kind of see him being able to do things on his own. So I really like what this roster it has, what they've done, what they've done with it, and I expect big things from them. Even missing Kelly
But I just think that's like I hate it for him because Philly there's after they eventually won this game against the Pacers, but they're 7-1 now. Now, granted, I think we all agree that especially in the chat. Shout out to y'all. I'll shout y'all here in a second. They're 7-1, and Terry Rodriguez. Yeah, we'll get on the Clippers here in a second about James Harden being winless so far with him, but they're 7-1 now. We all can agree in this chat that Joel Embiid is their best player. And, as long as he is healthy and good to go, he's killing it right now. And as long as you keep him upright, I think it'll go a long way in, Philly getting at least one of the top 2 seeds. And Tyrese Maxey is playing like this. Then I think Philly will be okay. And I think another thing that kind of will keep things cool, is the role players, like you mentioned. Platoon, not asking him to score a lot, but score in key moments, hit those corner threes that you expect out of PJ Tucker, but you never got out of him. Like, you paid on that money, but he never really produced for you offensively. And I'll be honest with you, D-Lock, getting Batum and Marcus Morris in the fold at that 4 spot, like I alluded to in that trade. We talk about James Harden. I think it's the upgrade at that 4 spot. And Batum had 9 points, 7 rebounds, but he's 3 for 5 for 3-point land. That's the key thing. So if the opportunities persist, you gotta make those shots. Robert Covington, he's getting playing time again. 2 points for him, 5 rebounds for him, 2 assists. But he's gonna bring a lot of versatility on the defensive side of things. That's gonna help this team out. Now, Mark Morris Sr. not playing, hasn't played a lot, for Philly. So, but I think when he comes in the games, I think it'll be an added bonus with this squad. I still say they need like another solid backup guard, but I think this team will be okay. Losing Oubre sucks, but I think this team will be okay. DeAnthony Melton will come in, play pretty solid for them in the starting spot. If they feel needed to make a move, they got those draft capital they got from the LA Clippers. So I think Philly will be fine. Like I said, they're 7-1. Maxey, like I said, I think he's deserving his contract extension. I just hope Daryl Morey don't screw the pooch on it. But, we'll see how that goes. But any final thoughts on this?
No, I think this team is fine. Like I said, I think it'll be hard to mess this up. This is something that happens with this. You got a new coach. You redone that roster. Now you have to look at somebody else. And I'm not going to sit here and say that they're going to win a championship this year, but I think that they should be able to move a hell of a lot closer than what they have been doing in the previous years. So for me, like I said, this roster is nice, man. I really like it. And I think that if they can continue to gel, even though they're missing a huge piece in Kelly Oubre, I think they're going to be competitive. We hear James Harden talk about how he is the system, but it's not working out so well so far for him in LA, as we expected or people thought. So right now, I think that the Sixers are looking fine. I think that Embiid is probably more likely going to really want to stay in Philly because I think they're going to be a hell of a lot more competitive. Tyrese Maxey cooking like that, that definitely helps, the momentum and the motivation for Embiid to stay in Philly.
And to look at the Indiana side of things, 25 points, 17 assists for Tyrese Halliburton. That's a hell of a stat line right there. Benedict Mathurin, he hasn't really shot out strong this year like I hoped. I still think Indiana's a playoff team, but he's got to start scoring better if they're going to reach that goal. But 9 points for him, 16 points for Buddy Hield. So, I'm not saying they train Buddy Hield anytime soon, but I think they might keep him in their back pocket with the way Mathurin has been scoring early in the season. And Obi Toppin getting a chance to start, but really hasn't grasped that bass ring as I hoped. 14 points for him, but only one rebound for him. I'm kind of wondering when they're going to play Jarvis Walker more and maybe give him a look, but we'll see. Before I continue, I want to shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat tonight. I'll bump into here today. Shout out to Terry Rodriguez. Shout out to Marcus Los. Great. Shout out to Larry B, the founder of IU Sports Radio, saying, I hate the Lakers. I hate the Lakers. Yeah, the Lakers, they're kind of up and down so far. Taryn Rodriguez says, so much for the city of brotherly love. Hey, Philly, those Philly people ain't that nice. I had a friend tell me that years ago. Shout out to our brother Drewski out of Dallas. Does our Dallas show every Wednesday. And if y'all don't follow Drewski on Twitter, he be at all the games. Cowboys, Mavs, Rangers games. I don't know if Drewski goes to the hockey games, the Dallas Stars hockey games. But, I mean, Drewski, he in there. Like, he in there in those at those games. So salute to you, brother. Hope you're doing well tonight. And speaking of Dallas, and we're talking about, best teams in the league and all that good stuff. The Mavericks, they're playing the New Orleans Pelicans right now. Dallas is 7-2 so far. Luka Doncic has been playing phenomenal so far early in the season. They're up 67-56. The third quarter is just getting started. Luka is 15, 4-4, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Kyrie has 22 points so far in the first half. 10 points off the bench for Tim Hardaway. Grant Williams, who I thought, what do you think of the Grant Williams addition? I thought maybe his scoring would be up a little bit more with all the double teams that Luka and Kyrie would command, but he really hasn't. I mean, yeah, he's averaged about 12 points this year, but he really hasn't. He don't stick out like you would hope. Get them more space. And what do you think of his addition so far with this squad for Dallas?
I had always seen him as like a more making an impact more on the defensive side.
Yeah.
Felt like he was more of a person that made that kind of impact. It seems like he's probably, like you said, that spacing is not really there as much because, like I said, Luka's going to take up so much. I think that with that, like you're probably gonna have. He's probably not gonna get those shots that he wants. And then also you got Kyrie there, so I thought he was also always that player that they brought in for the defensive help, and we haven't really seen it too much. But hopefully it does come around because the shots is not going to be there as much. I mean, you're talking about a difference between him being there in Boston. He has to make that impact, but they were already kind of drafting Derek Lively. We thought that he was going to make a big impact, which he has, and we thought he was going to, squeeze up a lot of space. So now you wanted to see it as, him being Grant Williams being the person that comes and probably guards your best offensive player. So I really think that he is more so of that defensive player than that offensive player in my mind. They got all the points that they could score all the points. They got Luka and Kyrie. They can score as many damn points as they want, as they want to. So they just need a little bit more defensive help. We're grabbing some boards, and I think that's the more impact that Grant Williams will make.
Yeah, Drewski saying in chat, his activity on the defensive perimeter is where it's working out well for the Mavs. And I definitely agree, that, his impact right now has been working well on the defense side of things. I just thought maybe, catch lightning in the bottle offensively and maybe really get this team pumping and going. But, like Drewski just now mentioned in chat, D-Live, Derek Lively, you mentioned as well, he has really, really, really changed the outlook of the Mavs. I think, we've been talking about the Mavs for the past couple of years in this show, D-Lock, is like, damn, if they get somebody upgrade at center besides Powell or Max Kleber, they may could do some things. And they get Derek Lively in draft trade with OKC. And, we talked about it in our draft reviews, like, well, it's going to take a little bit, but I think this kid could be something. The season at Duke didn't go as planned for him, the injuries, all that stuff. But, get here, get used to the system, and kind of work on some, work on things, stuff down low, offensively, all that. Because, you can be an athlete. It's just like with me and big man, like, you got to work some stuff down low. I just kind of hate how they reduce the big man now. That they just put backs and rebound and run the floor. I kind of hate that. Sometimes you got to keep the defense, all the offense down low. But anyways, that's never subject of another day. But like Drewsy brought up, and you have brought up in the past, this kid has really played well for them. And I like what he's brought to the table. Granted, he ain't got no rebounds, which I don't like. But 8 points so far, 4 for 5 down low. And, getting Grant Williams helping defensive. This kid as well. Or can the Mavs be a sleeper team to make it like a Western Conference Finals if this development continues? Do you see that in your opinion?
I think that this team is super talented. You have the player like a Luka and Kyrie. So they're always going to be a team that could play a big difference. I think that you're looking at a Derek Lively, a Derek Jones, who, Grant Williams. It seemed like they wanted to get more length on this team, which is what the hell they did. And I think that when you do things like that, this team should be more competitive. The only worry I have is on the defensive side. So they can kind of get things together and they can mesh together. You have a Derrick Jones and Grant Williams who can play better defense with a Derrick Lively. This team can be very dangerous. I mean, you got your guys that can score. I mean, you're looking at Kyrie right now with 28 points right now. You know, somewhat Luka's kind of taking a day off, but he has 19. So for me, I like this team. And then also you got Tim Hardaway coming off the bench. If you shore up that defensive side, this team can be very, very good. You got the guys, hell, you know, we talk about how they had Jalen Brunson, they let him walk, how they felt about that. Now you have somebody there and Kyrie. These other guys, if they can play their role pretty well, you're looking at a very scared team.
Yeah, and Drewski we'll talk about the West of the rest here in a second. He said, yeah, you know, the West is deep. And you look at the other side of things with the Pelicans, you know, Zion, you know, had his baby. Not with that chick, you know, we talk about that. The other one, not the crazy one, but the other one. He had his baby, missed a game, but he's back. 14 points for him so far. Congratulations to him. I hope he saves his money. But anyways, Ingram had 17 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds for him. Valanciunas, eating down low, 15 points, 10 rebounds for him. Dyson Daniels, 12 points for him, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Jordan Hawkins, who has been playing pretty damn well for the Pelicans early in the season. But right now, he's just 1 for 6 for 3-point land, 5 points for him. It seems like with the Pelicans, D-Lock, is like, we don't know the full potential of this team. It's like, CJ McCollum goes out with a chest injury. Brandon Ingram's out. You know, Zion really hasn't missed no time. Knock on wood. Are we ever going to see the full potential of this team? Or are they going to be like, well, going to miss this guy, miss that guy? What's the full scope of this team?
I feel like this Pelicans team could be very good. And I've said it ever since they had somebody like on Zion. If they can get healthy and stay healthy, they could be a threat as well. Joe Val is a hell of a defender. You know, he can score when he wants. Also, my thing with the Pelicans, they need to figure out what the hell they want to do at center. Either you're going to give Joe Val all them damn minutes, or you're going to let Larry Nance be Larry Nance. It's too much rotating that. But Zion, like you said, if he can stay healthy, I think I like this team as well. They're going to need CJ McCollum back. That's some things they're not going to be able to hold the fort down for the whole season. Brandon Ingram also. The biggest thing with this team is health.
Yeah, this is like damn. If those big three names, Williamson, McCollum, and Ingram can stay healthy, at least 70% together, things can go a long way for them. We seen it last year. They're at the top of the West last year at one point. So things went downhill. But it seems like every time you just look up, like, damn, McCollum's out. Well, damn, Zion's out. Well, damn, Brandon Ingram's out. It's just like, damn, yeah, it's like this team can't catch a break with untimely injuries. But, you know, we'll see. I mean, Dallas is still up 89-72 on them, but we'll see how things will shake out. But let's get to the meat tonight's episode. Mr. Terry Rodriguez brought this up. The Clippers. They are 0-4 since they had traded for James Harden. They're 0-4 since they acquired James Harden, and he had his press conference with the team saying, I am the system. In that span of time, those 4 losses, they had lost today to the Grizzlies, to the Mavericks in group play, the Nets, and I hate it for the Nets like this. I hate it for Cam Thomas. He's gonna be out for a couple weeks. I hate it for him. He went out with the
he was just not cooking too. He was just not getting good.
And yeah, that's what pissed me off. It's like they started him. He's been cooking. We've been on a staunch campaign on this show to let Cam Thomas play. He's averaged 27 points so far this year, and then he got the injury. I was like, damn it, damn. Like that I hate it for him that he got his time to get his time to shine, and now he goes out with the injury. I hate that for him. But back to the Clippers. James Harden's first game was against the New York Knicks. They lose 111-97. Okay? Away game, James Harden had 17 points. You know, Westbrook had 17, Zubac 8 and 7, Kawhi 18, Paul George 10. So kind of a letdown there. Even though Julius Randle had 27-10 in that game, Barry had 26, Brunson only had 7 points on there, but lucky for them, the bench kind of picked up the slack there. Oh, by the way, D-Lock, Knicks fans, they tired of Julius Randle.
I see that.
Like, ooh, they done with him. Like, I hope he shape up just for his sake. But, we'll see how it goes with him. So they lose that game. Then they lose to the Nets 100-93. Harden, 12 points, 24 for Paul George, but didn't really shoot the ball well. 17 from Kawhi. We mentioned about the Nets. Cam Thomas went out with the injury, but Lonnie Walker, who's been playing pretty great out the bench for them, 21 points in 28 minutes right there. And by the way, Spencer Dinwiddie, he is taking a dive since his return to Brooklyn. That needs to be pointed out. So you got that. And then the Mavs. The Mavs beat them 144-126. Kawhi Leonard led them with 26 points. James Harden only scored 14. But Luka had a big game. 44 points, 6 points. 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 27 for Kyrie. Looking at the bench. Tim Hardaway had 17 points. Jaden Hardy had 11 for Dallas. And then you get to today. The Grizzlies had not been playing great earlier in the season, like I had hoped. Even with Ja Morant being out, I kind of thought, like, we've seen Ja Morant being out, the Grizzlies played pretty damn well. That's why I thought I still kept them at top in my preseason rankings that, okay, yeah, he's going to be out, but they showed that, they played well with him gone. You added Marcus Smart, added Derrick Rose. I thought, okay, good stopgap until Morant gets back, but it really hasn't. But they get the win today. Desmond Bane, 27 points for him, 17 for Marcus Smart. Bismack Biyombo, who they put in the starting lineup recently, 13 points, 12 rebounds for him. Jaren Jackson, 12 points for him. Luke Kennard off the bench, 13 points for him. And then for the Clippers side of things, Harden, 11 points. Leonard, 14. Paul George, 26, 7 and 7. Norman Powell, 20 points for him. After going through all that, D-Lock, after what James Harden has said, I am the system. Then you seen James Harden saying, well, it's going to take a little while to get games going. We're 4 games in the James Harden experience. He's back at home in LA. Along with 3 other guys, Westbrook, Leonard, George, all from LA. What do you think is the issue with the Clippers so far with James Harden? Can Ty Lue get this figured out? Is there a personnel issue? What do you think? Thoughts on the Clippers since James Harden joined the team?
To be honest with you, I think that I'm going with like you said. I think it's early. We see somebody with such a caliber, high expectations that he just comes in and changes everything. And to be honest, I think that with the group of guys that they have, it's going to take a little while for them to gel. So I'm going to give, like I said, this time I'll give it a pass. I think that it's going to give them time to gel. He says he is the system. With any system or any philosophy, it does take time for it to kind of get together. So, okay, 4 games in, let's try to see if these guys can get together and get it rolling. We know what we've seen from James Harden in the past, Russ in the past. Hell, people have joked about how somebody, I believe it was not Kawhi, somebody passed the ball to Russ at the end. As soon as he shot it, Kawhi fell to his knees because he knew that he wasn't going to make the shot. So, you have different thoughts as far as how the system works and what is expected from this team. But for me, I want to give it more time and see more and see if they can gel. Remember, we've seen the LeBron, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh team get together and lose in the NBA Finals their first year. So I don't want to, write it off 2 games in. But I definitely want to make sure that I keep it to say, okay, well, hey, let's kind of monitor it and see what happened. But I think one of the biggest pieces that the Clippers did trade away a lot of was their physicality and their defense to the Sixers or James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is more so what we need to notice more than anything else, because everywhere that James Harden has been, that has been the issue. Defense on his part. So hopefully, like I said, he can get things going and they can get rolling. But right now, I won't say hell, blow it up right now. I want to wait a little bit more and see what happens. Let's see this maybe 10 to 15, 20 games in.
To blow it up part, I don't foresee that happening. I don't think Steve Ballmer's going to allow that. But I think, you look at this team right now, they desperately want to keep Terrence Mann there. They kept him there. He was subject to trade rumors, all that stuff. But he's been okay. But, he's averaging 5 points so far this year, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. I mean, I know he makes an impact on the defensive side of things, but it's like, is this his peak right now? Is this his peak? So that's something they got to consider. Like, damn, is this all this dude's gonna bring us? And then, Zubac. I hated how the Lakers traded him away years ago. And all that stuff, but he really hasn't been playing up to snuff here lately. So I think, you got to consider that, down low. Is Zubac the guy in the middle that is going to play well for you. When you play a team like Memphis, you got to go against Bismack Biyombo, Jerry Jackson, and then those guys off the bench. For Memphis, like Rowdy, Zaire Williams, those guys that can play YMCA ball with you, bang with you on that type of stuff. Can Zubac handle that? And he really kind of showed like that. To be honest with you, I think with James, we talked about it, I think a few shows ago. Like he wants to be the dude, and he almost had a chance at Houston to go back to be the dude, but he kind of effed himself over. And in this situation here, you got to play with Russ. You and Russ didn't have the best situation towards the end of the Houston run. Kawhi seems like he's good to go so far. And you got to, help facilitate him to get him open shots. Same thing with Paul George. I think it's like a facilitation problem. Can Harden or Westbrook help facilitate? Get these guys open looks, get these guys in the best position. What James is like we're about to be trying to get his own. Because, we've seen Kawhi Leonard when he's up, when he's rolling. One of the best in the league. Paul George, same deal. Russell Westbrook, same deal when he's on. Can James Harden take a back seat to that and let the game come to him?
Which is what he needs to do. We've been waiting on in every team he goes to.
So, like you said, like you pointed out, like let's get a little bit more time. But damn, they got the Spurs next game. Not the Spurs, excuse me. They got the Nuggets next game in group play. Zubac ain't playing the best, and Jokic is Jokic. Now, granted, Jamal Murray is not playing. He's out with the hamstring injury, and he'll be out for a little while. So maybe this could be a good get right game for them. But Jokic is like a one-man army his damn self. And if you got contended that, then I don't know. It's going to be hard to get a victory there. And that could be another loss right there. And like that one dude on Twitter weeks ago saying, me and you were on drugs having the Clippers last. Well, look, I mean, I know it's early in the season, but look where we're at right now. They got the Nuggets next game. That could be an L. And then on the 17th, they play Houston. Houston's been playing pretty damn good early on. That could be another L. Granted, they got them at home, but that could be another L. Ime Udoka, straight disciplined dude. Well, on the bench and stuff like that. But he got those guys playing good right now. And then you got the Spurs on the 20th. The 20th and the 22nd, I think. Unless that's a mistype or whatever. But they got the Spurs next game. The Pelicans, the game after that. Drewski's Mavs. And then the Nuggets again. And then the Kings. And then the Warriors and round out the rest of the month.
Oh, yeah. That's tough.
All those teams right there, like Drewski brought up in the chat, the West is deep. And all those losses, all those games could be losses. All of them, potentially. A lot of those games, and some of those games are on the road. So, for their sake, they better figure it out. And if they don't, then I don't know what's going to happen with this franchise. They're in the mud. Harden's a free agent. Leonard, George, free agent. A lot of questions for this Clipper team, like I alluded to in the season preview series, that Steve Ballmer has to be questioning ahead. Where do I take this team? I traded a future draft capital for James Harden, but I'm 0 for 4 with him so far. Where do I go from here? So I don't know about the Clippers, D-Log. I really don't know. I don't know.
No, and it's hard because they've made these big moves for these players, so they have to get things going, and it's expected that they do. So, for me, you got Paul George, Russ, Kawhi, Harden. Like, there's no reason why this team isn't, one of the better teams in the NBA. So it leaves questions, and hopefully they can get it right.
If you're a Clipper fan, you better hope they get it right, and it's not like you can if you become one of the worst teams in the West, it's not like you don't have your own draft pick. I don't think so. I have to double check that, but if they don't, let me pull that up real quick. That's a good question. That's a good, very, very, very good question. That's a good question. I'm pulling it up right now. Give me just a second, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see the Clippers on that pick. Actually, their pick goes to the Pacers. So they only got that first round pick for next year. So if they happen to bottom out, whatever, they only own their first round pick. So it's gonna be rough for them. So I think for their sake, they better hope they shape up. But if not, it's gonna be a long season for them. And then with James Harden, what does he do? What does he do next? Because that's the other thing we've seen for James for the past few years. What does he do next? That's just my question.
Yeah, well, we've seen him bounce from team to team and then go to parties after every loss. So I wouldn't be surprised what happened with him moving forward.
So we'll keep tabs on that. Other scores going on right now. Pistons down 6 to the Bulls, 97-91. The Bulls. 27 points for DeMar DeRozan, 11 for double-double for Andre Drummond off the bench in 15 minutes. A double-double for Vucevic, 11 for him, 14 for Zach LaVine. on that side of things. On the pitch side of things, 15 points for Kevin Knox, who just signed back with the team not too long ago. Alec Burks back from his injury, 13 points for him. Marvin Bagley, who's in the starting lineup tonight, 12 points for him, 6 rebounds. Assured Thompson, who's been playing pretty well, especially in the defensive side of things, 9 points for him, 13 rebounds for him for Detroit. And then 12 points, 9 rebounds for Isaiah Stewart. Let me ask you this. When did Isaiah Stewart start taking all these damn threes?
Since he got in the fight with LeBron. That dude, I see him jacking up threes like he Karl Anthony Towns, man.
I watched that Bucks game this past week. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pistons was up double digits on the Bucks in the fourth quarter of that game. They're up double digits. Kate Cunningham had 33 points in that game. Marcus Sasser been great pickup for them for Detroit in the draft. 26 points for him off the bench. They're up double digits. And it seemed like they gave the game away to Milwaukee. And I'm watching this game late in the fourth quarter. After bad turnover, I'm seeing Isaiah Stewart taking bad 3-pointers. I was like, what the hell is this? Kate Cunningham making bad passes. All that stuff. Jaden Ivey, who's not with the team, did not play in that game. But give credit to Milwaukee. 34 points for Damian Lillard. 18 off the bench for Bobby Portis. So I'm just wondering, what's Monty Williams' end game with this squad? It's like, you starting Jalen Duran at center, as you should. Stewart is at that 4 spot. You got Assured Thompson at that 3. Do you see like a glut of big man there, a problem for Detroit?
I mean, they got these guys. It's always good to have a numerous amount of different opportunities or players in rotation, but there's also a time where you can have entirely too much. And when you have so many guys that you could put in rotation, like, it makes it very tough for your guys to get in the rhythm. The Pistons have been playing actually, pretty well. When you have Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren, Marvin Bagley and James Wiseman, not everybody can get 20, 30 minutes. So they're gonna have to figure out their rotation and get it right. That's gonna definitely impact somebody, to get in the room, and who's gonna be that odd man out.
I was like, damn. Are y'all that damn bad that Isaiah Stewart can shoot? I mean, shooting threes like this. And by the way, I'm on the subject of Detroit, and I didn't think about this guy because I don't know if he played yet this season. But Bojan Bogdanovic.
I have not heard his name all year long.
And I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's hurt, because if he wasn't, he'd be, playing. But it's like, damn, where's this dude at? And then I'm reading right now, out for 4 weeks with the right calf strain. So that's a guy that, you will want to take, those shots that Isaiah Stewart's jacking up, 2 for 7 for 3-point land. That's pathetic. And you ever had Bojan to have those stats, but he's a better 3-point shooter. But I was just watching that deal. I was like, damn. I know it's growing pains with this young team, but it's like, dang, y'all kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So I watched that game. I was like, damn, Detroit, y'all had him, but y'all just kind of just screwed the pooch. But they're down 6-5 to the Bulls right now, so we'll see if they can make a comeback on that. The Spurs are up 103-98 on the Heat right now. Actually, 101-103 right now. Bam Adebayo 22-10. 22 points for Duncan Robinson. Jimmy Butler 15 points. For the Spurs side of things, Victor Wembanyama 18 points, 11 rebounds for him. Zach Collins 18 points for him. Keldon Johnson 17 points. Real quick on Victor. We didn't talk about him too much. What are your thoughts on him so far in the season?
Man, he's looking really good, man. For him to have that length and to dribble the ball the way he is, we've seen it overseas, but it looks very impressive. Him and Chet are the future of the NBA. That body frame, that being able to be that tall, that long, and be able to dribble like you're 6'2", like a Chris Paul or something like that. It's very impressive, man. And if they continue to do that, I think that changes how teams draft and what they look for in their prospects. That goes a long way. Like, dude, like I'm literally looking at what Victor is doing, and come on, dude, like he is playing out of his mind right now. Now obviously he's not shooting too well from 3-point land, but 11 boards and 18 points, 6 assists. You can't. That's not shabby at all. He can shoot a little bit better, which he'll get. You're going against a Bam Adebayo, who we know is a hell of a defensive player, and he's still showing out. So he looks impressive, man, very much. This rookie of the year race is started out hot, and it's going to be very exciting to see throughout the whole year.
Yeah, I think if he keep that 18 and 11 stat line, like 18 points, 11 rebounds stat line throughout the season, I think that'll be a great stepping stone for him and kind of like improvement on that next. And I hate to get ahead of myself, but for next year, okay, can you break 20 points per game? Can you stay above that? Can you average, at least 12 rebounds a game, maybe 13? And I think, he's in the perfect situation with Pop that, he can get pushed to those levels. I just think, some point in the season, Pop got, like I talked about a couple weeks ago, Pop got to bring those guys in. Like, hey, this dude's our centerpiece. And things got to be revolved around him. So we can't screw the pooch on this. But I like what I see so far. I think he does got some takeover ability to be that dude. So I like what I've seen so far. And I think that, he got a long way to go, but the early returns are as advertised. But we'll see how the season progress with him and the Spurs. But I like what I've seen so far out of him.
Real quick. Yeah, I mean, he's living up to the expectations big time so far.
Oh yeah. So that's for the NBA talk. I did want to get some college basketball scores in real quick. Baylor, they win today 77-62 over Gardner-Webb. North Carolina over Lehigh 90-68. St. Mary's winning so far against Weber State 44-29. And then on to Friday's game. Arizona with a big win at Cameron Indoor 78-73 over Duke. And you had Caleb Love, who transferred from North Carolina, initially went to Michigan, didn't work out there, transferred to Arizona, and he had a big time block. Like, it's on our Twitter page on X/Twitter at Fastbreak IESR. He had a beautiful block on the Duke wingman. I don't got his name in front of me right now, but it was like a beautiful block on a corner wing right there. And Caleb Love, back in Carolina, getting a big time win with his Arizona squad mates, and Duke falls to 1-1 in the season. Kyle Filipowski, 25 points for him, 8 rebounds. You'll be starting hearing his name more and more throughout the season as a potential lottery pick as well. So get used to him right now. 11 points for Love, but a big time win for Arizona out in Cameron Indoor. Purdue 87-57 over Morehead State. Zach Edey 18 points, 8 rebounds for him. Let's see, Braden Smith. I got it right here. 11 points for him, 11 assists, and 8 rebounds for him for the guard for Purdue. And they get the easy win there. Kansas 99-61. These are Friday scores over Manhattan. Arkansas 86-68 over Gardner-Webb. Alabama 102-80 or 102-80 over Indiana State. Illinois 64-53 over Oakland. Marquette 95-65 over Rider. Tennessee 10-point win against Wisconsin 80-70. Gonzaga 86-71 over Yale. BYU beating 17-ranked San Diego State 74-65. Texas 86-59 over Delaware State. And then I want to shout out to the women's real quick before we get out here, D-Lock. UCLA, they got a big time commit. Sienna Betts, one of the top players on women high school sports, basketball, committed to UCLA, I think a couple days ago. Big time post player. I think she's like 6'3". Her mom actually follows our Twitter page. So I do want to shout her out. Committed to UCLA. Her sister, her older sister, let me pull her name up. Let me pull her up. Her sister, I'm trying to get her sister's name. Yeah, Sienna, class of 2025, committed to UCLA. Her sister, I'm trying to get her sister's name. Where's her sister's name at? Lauren Betts, who transferred originally played at Stanford last year, left there with UCLA. So she'll be landing there with her sister. So I think that was a good get for UCLA basketball. and for them to continue their build to kind of be like that team to go to when the Big Ten play starts come around next year. So congratulations to that young lady there committed to UCLA. But to go with some women's scores real quick, D-Lock, UConn today, they lost to NC State 92-81. Paige Becker's back in the fold. She had 27 points, but that wasn't enough for them. Sienna Rivers for NC State had 33 points to lead the Wolfpack in an upset win, in my humble opinion. Iowa 94-53 against I want to say inside rivals, but against Northern Iowa. Caitlin Clark, another triple double, 24, 10, 11 for her.
She's doing well right now.
She's doing pretty well so far, and I don't know if you've seen her play yet, but have you seen the USC Trojans women's play yet?
I've caught a few highlights, and it looked pretty impressive as well, to be honest. I'm going to actually tune into the next game soon, but I've seen a lot of highlights. They always play later on for the most part, but they are interesting to watch, seems like.
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all get the chance, there's a young lady play for USC named Juju Watkins. She's a freshman. 6'2" from LA. I'm not saying Caitlin Clark is going to win Player of the Year. She might have it run away. But this young lady, Juju Watkins, if she continues to play well, may be in the running at the end of the season. And I think Juju Watkins is going to be a name we're going to be talking about here on the show, or and hopefully in college basketball for the next 3 years. She is that good. She is that talented. I really like her game a lot. Some things she got to work on about, seeing the court, seeing her teammates open on a fast break and stuff like that. But I think that will come in time. But this young lady, D-Lock, already averaging 25 points already. Already got like 6 rebounds so far this season. They beat Florida Gulf Coast the other day, 67-51. But this girl's a baller. And I think USC women's teams not to be kind of slept on over the season. I know UConn, South Carolina, LSU, Iowa, UCLA, Notre Dame kind of was like the cream of the crop, and Louisville. But don't sleep on USC Trojans women's. I think they're going to make some noise. And Juju Watkins can continue her steady play. I think that's a team that you can't, keep out the conversation, as I'm trying to say. Because we've seen with LSU, they took a bad loss here early season to Colorado. But, they kind of bounced back over, schools against Queens and Mississippi Valley State, who they beat today. But don't sleep on USC. That's all I got to say about that. But any final thoughts before we head off, D-Lock?
I mean, I'm just happy with the fact that, all of basketball is back now. This is one of the best times of the year. And then we always see on college basketball, both men and women, there's always a freshman that's going to shock everybody. Juju's doing that now, even though she was that player out of high school. She's showing what kind of impact that she's making on the college level already. So I'm just happy that we're definitely seeing NBA back. Noted, Memphis does look terrible without Ja Morant right now. that's a different topic for a different day. We'll see if they change. But this is a great time of the season, man. It is chilly out here, but a lot of sports going on, and basketball being the one that's just not getting started is exciting.
Yeah, high school. Well, I'm pretty sure in Georgia and here in Alabama, they have getting started. Now, granted, we got football playoffs going on right now in this state, but basketball's gotten started for some teams, unless some, there are teams in the playoffs. But, basketball's up and rolling now. I've seen every day, Huntsville High School here in Alabama. They traveling down to Florida to play, what's that kid's name? Cooper Flagg, who committed to Duke. Who reclassified for the 2026 class. They're going down to play his school. What's that damn school? Montrezl Academy down in Florida. So that's going to be big time, and we'll see how that plays out. I'm watching that for like a local sense, like, Huntsville High, the coach there got things up and rolling. Now you're going to try and stomp the big dogs. This is one test right here with this kid, Cooper Flagg, who a lot of people got projected as a first-round overall pick in 2025. So we're going to see how things play on all that stuff here in the next coming weeks here on this basketball season. But this has been our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in with us. Good to be back on the airwaves and talking deep dive in basketball. I wanted to shout out to the chat here tonight. Shout out to Ish Drewski. Salute to you, brother. Shout out to Marcus Los Great. Shout out to Taryn Rodriguez. Shout out to Larry B, the founder of IE Sports Radio. And your Raiders are looking pretty decent so far. But shout out to everybody in the chat tonight. Thank y'all for keeping the conversation going. D-Lock, how do people can find you on social media?
You guys can find me at Black-813. Black-813. I'll definitely be talking about the Magic, man. We're looking pretty well. Yes. I know they can find you at the show's page.
You can find the show's page on X/Twitter at FastBreak@IESR. That's FastBreak@IESR. Do check out iSportsRadio.com. With the holidays, we're full swing in the holiday season. Check out iSportsRadio.com. Check out the gift shop. T-shirts, ornaments, hoodies, flags, all that good stuff on the website. Also, check out iSportsRadio.com for our related show news and feed as well. A lot of great people in the network. A lot of good things going on. The NFL season in full swing, so a lot of network cities cover the teams that your city's in. Buffalo, DC area, Baltimore, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, Southern Cal, Cleveland, New Orleans, Atlanta, North Florida, South Florida, Carolina. We got you covered. So do tune into the network there. I do have another page, The Crooks Process. Do follow me in there on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Do follow me on Twitter at Spawn4288. That's Spawn4288. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, do follow us on Twitter for any news on basketball. We'll talk to you later. Peace.